guys. I don't own the rights to this music. This music belongs to a friend of mine named Aiden Kelly. You can find him on all music streams, including iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud. This song is called Trap Wizard, and I was just kind of trying to get in the groove because I haven't channeled in a while and I haven't done a YouTube video in quite some time. It's been a real time in these last few months of introspection. So when this song is over, I'm going to switch us over to some peaceful music to help us get in a meditative mood. And I'm going to channel a live 1111 portal activations video for you guys because that is what Spirit wanted me to do. And this actually came about because this morning I was going to do an activation video on my Facebook page, and for some reason, according to trolls, I am a false account. So my Facebook account has been temporarily banned from doing live videos. So welcome back, brandinimojo and the Tribal Awakening Ministry to YouTube. Okay. So these last few months of integration, we're going to talk about that. I've got some major questions for you guys that we're going to tap into through sacred geometry. I have some things to share from an excerpt or two of a new book that I just got in the mail from my sister, divine soul sister, Soul Tribe. This book is called The Royal Path by Rebecca Magic, and I highly recommend you guys going onto her Facebook page and putting in your order. This book is only $25, but if you guys are trying to understand tarot and archetypes, this book is highly activating as you read each chapter. It touches on the archetypal energies of the major arcana, and I'm going to read a couple of the excerpts from this book for you guys today, but I wanted to share this beautiful piece of work from Rebecca Magic with you guys because honestly, when people ask me about tarot and what it means or what it's really about, I have always explained that the major arcana, especially out of all of the cards in the tarot, are going to touch on archetypal energies within the universal force inside of you and how it's being activated and how it's moving through your energetic gates on a daily basis. Tarot is timeless, and so are the archetypal energies within you. And I just want to give a shout out to Rebecca Magic for actually taking the divine time to channel this information actually where you can actually get your hands on it and in book form begin to understand the archetypal energies that work within the universe and how they are activated within you every day. Okay, so we're going to tap into this here in just a little bit. Want to give a shout out to Aiden Kelly. Thank you so much for the way that you transmute your magical essence into your music. I just wanted to kind of get in my own groove today to start this video for you guys because, like I said, it's been 3 months since I did my last video, and there's just been a lot going on in the collective as far as introspection. So, another one of the archetypal energies that we're going to talk about today are, in fact, the hangman energy, and where we've all been at with this energy that's been floating up through these different retrogrades, Mars going into, full on transit I guess you would call it. Mercury coming out of retrograde, Saturn still at work, still at play, Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, we still have a lot going on in as far as planetary alignments. We've got a super new moon coming up really, really soon. I would suggest that you guys check your natal charts as to, how this energy is going to be moving through your astrological positions. So this is definitely going to help you guys tap into the grid of energy fluctuations. Some of the things that may surface up for you guys during these final celestial alignments and happenings at the end of 2020. Okay, because right now, the main celestial alignment that we have coming up in just a few days actually is the 1111 portal. For those of you guys that don't study numerology, would be a good time to start to tap into the messages of number sequences that are coming in for you guys, especially if you guys have been noticing a repetitive pattern of numbers. Those numbers share light codes and frequencies all the time. So today we're going to tap into a lot of what is happening in the collective right now, what is opening up through this 1111 portal. Um, a lot of energy for me intuitively about this 1111 portal is the first thing my spirit guide said to me was this 1111 portal is going to bring about a time where, like the world is going to take its mask off for you. If you guys haven't already kind of intuitively, been picking up on that lately, especially in these last 8 months, a lot of people have, you know, misread the things happening with COVID because a lot of energy has been misguided through, I think, the fact that our energy has really been in a fearful state. I think a lot of us have really had to go within and really sit with what we're intuitively feeling and what we're intuitively seeing beyond the illusions. I think for the most part, this has been one of the greatest awakening years that I've been able to witness on my journey here. And for me, it's been very transformative and very beautiful and very bittersweet. Now for, others, it's been very chaotic and very tumultuous and, strenuous on a lot of the collective with all understanding and love. I say that. Um, but this has been a time of great contemplation for a lot of the collective. So we're also going to tap into some of that energy. A lot of the questions that have been boring through all of our minds is what is coming in 2020 and how are these energies right now going to affect us in the coming months, coming out of 2020 and going into 2021. So Spirit really guided me to really sit for a second and gather some structure for this video. And I'm just going to dive right on in. So the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to channel some sacred geometry codes from the Arcturian keys for you guys today. We're going to start off this energy with some light code activations and some Reiki. Obviously, I'm going to be channeling some Reiki through the cards through this video. So I want you guys to understand that when you guys do click on this video, it is going to be timeless. And just to give you a little background information, like the last year that I've had my channel open to the public, I have not shown my face or revealed anything but, what's in front of me, which is the cards. But Spirit wanted to guide me to, like when I come back into this channel to reveal my face to you guys. And I'm just gonna tell you, you know, like a lot of the time, I'm just gonna tell you guys just up front that I'm not going to be one of those readers that gets on YouTube and, you know, um, I'm not going to fake it for you guys. I'm just going to put it to you like simply and how I would put it to anybody else. I'm going to be myself. You guys are not going to, you guys are going to see me in my natural state, in my natural sanctuary environment, you know, that myself and my sister have created in this house. So I'm going to be channeling from home, from my natural state of being, and I just want to put my best authentic face forward to the collective. So this is the new intention that I am setting for this channel and for the videos and content that I put out on my channel. So I just want to come as I am and allow you guys to view me without the masks on, because I think that this is really what this integration for me has been about over the last few months, while I've been in hangman mode, gathering introspection and, you know, deciding how I want to take things forward. Um, I want to start infusing more of my own presence and be more present with you guys. So this is me. My name is Brandy. Welcome in to my channel, and I'm glad you guys joined me or have clicked on to this video. So with all the gratitude and love from the universe that I can muster from my universe to yours, let's just go ahead and dive right on in. I'm going to get started here. And as far as, I don't know, background music, I'm, excuse me, clearing out some of that Una Prana. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, so I'm gonna uncross my legs while I channel this video. They usually say when you're working a pendulum or something, don't cross your legs so that your energy can flow properly. I want to apologize for the chainsaw outside. If you guys can hear that, let's not allow that to distract us during this video. We're cleaning up after an ice storm a few weeks ago, and so my apologies, guys. So anyway, with this first, oops, I better get my feet off that. We'll topple over. No, we won't. Anyways, what the first question is and how I'm going to activate this video is pulling some sacred geometry messages for you guys. And here in a minute, I'm going to explain the importance of sacred geometry and why I am going to activate my videos with these images and Arcturian messages from now on. First and foremost, I do want to put a disclaimer on this video. This video is not going to be for everyone. This video may be on a higher frequency than you are used to. So I just want to, with love, tell you guys that if this video does not resonate with you, go ahead and click off. Secondly, I want you guys to understand that the things that we are going to discuss in this video are not intentional to sway you from your own belief patterns or your own belief systems, because I do firmly believe that those things for you guys personally and how they resonate with you, to keep them within you close to your heart, because those are naturally the foundations of your spiritual existence, or you being able to tap into your own spirituality. So by all means, whatever I channel to you guys is completely and utterly with and from the universal unconditional law of love. And they are also for the souls that this energy resonance will actually activate and help on your journey. So with that being said, what codes are being channeled through and for us through this activation 1111 portal for the collective, what light codes are being brought in. I also want you guys to understand that because I am not voicing it out loud does not mean that I am not opening up this circle for strictly divine source energies alone. No inorganic beings shall come through this message. I, with the divine spirit, command it so. Speak it out loud into existence. Because as you speak it, you create it. So I might as well just go ahead and open up that circle of divine love and perfect trust for us. That we only receive messages from the source of all sources, the creator of all creators, the I am presence. So that only light code messages can come through me to you guys here. As above, so below. All right, so what light code channeled messages are we receiving through this 1111 portal? What messages through sacred geometry are coming through for us during this 1111 portal? This card deck is so huge I can't even wrap my fingers. I can't wrap my hands around it. So anyway, here's one. I'm going to grab two more messages for us. There's two. I want you guys to also, if you're feeling like you just need to breathe, please take a moment to breathe in light source energy and exhale all of the energy that is not resonating with you at the moment. Just exhale and imagine it flowing out of you and back into the cosmos for the divine creator to transmute however divine creator sees fit. Okay, we have our third message. All right. Okay, so underneath the deck, I just want to show you. This is the overall message coming in from Source right now. Here is the beautiful image of the message of emergence coming through. For a lot of you guys, this is probably going to be very common whenever your eyes see these light codes. They may feel familiar to you. And if they do, that's fine. The message coming in here is about emergence. And this is a very beautiful energy because understanding sacred geometry, we understand that we're tapping into the Fibonacci sequence, the golden ratio. And many scholars, including Plato, have touched on this subject and how it fits into our own human design and the human connection that we actually have to sacred geometry. And for this reason, sacred geometry is considered a universal language, perhaps the most universal language that the world has ever known. And it contains the symbolism that is so much more powerful than any other written language. And I'll tell you that we've started to tap into this divine arcane knowledge within us. It's why I'm so glad that this deck of cards has landed in my hands blessedly, because my own spirit guides throughout the summer during the 8/8 portal, which is the Lion's Gate portal, I was receiving messages so strongly from a galactic point of view that over these last 3 months, the emergence of these light codes is becoming very transparent, not only in my own life, but in what I'm collectively witnessing now, right along with the rest of you guys. But these sacred forms, these sacred forms are not only appearing to us in a wave, but we've seen these sacred geometry symbols in crop circles quite frequently. We're starting to recognize the emergence of our own sovereignty from the extraterrestrial programming. And I'm just going to talk about this because they're guiding me to. For a lot of us, the collective questions about what it is that we're processing in these times, what it is that we are transforming through, it is exactly that. We are transforming out of a state of dormancy that the extraterrestrial light codes that were programmed into us thousands of years ago are now being programmed out. So we are reprocessing everything about who we are from our molecular structure. And this emergence is what is taking place in the collective now. What we're talking about as far as the golden ratio, okay, when it comes to the emergence of the golden ratio within humankind, it's a very ancient discovery that's being reintroduced into the collective now. This is what I'm being told. So, but the energy of emergence, I'm going to read the meaning of the card to you guys because the message of the card and the Arcturian activation overall to begin this message with is what is happening right now through this portal. It's a state of emergence of humankind. We are taking off the masks. We are coming into a new state of integration and balance. Even though it doesn't seem that this is what is happening in the collective right now, a lot of people have been on edge over this last week through the state of election and within the United States, and that is understandable. Especially wondering, with the transference of power from one person to another, how is it going to affect our economy? How is it going to affect our people? How is it going to affect our way of living? These have been a lot of questions and worry on mankind's shoulders at the moment. So we also have, the energy coming in of receiving the profound and inspiring insights into how we're living life right now. We're joining hands with thousands of people, in doing the same. We're finding ourselves in this state of emergence, kind of butterflies being born of the cocoons, kind of energy. Life and death recycles and rebirths. And, there's a lot of symbolism that I could describe, when it comes to this state of emergence that humankind is really experiencing right now. But this card description is talking about the energy of emergence and it's helping us leave our cocoon for good. And it's crazy that I just started talking about that. Leaving the cocoons for good without feelings of doubts and insecurity. It's so that we can spread our wings and show the world who we really are. So that is a very profound message coming in from the state of being where you're channeling and funneling this light source energy that's coming in from the galactic transformations that are happening through these energy waves coming in celestially. So to start our reading, this is about a state of emergence and humankind coming out of the cocoon, so to speak. And wow. Okay, so the second energy that we have is not a surprise to me at all. And it is the light code message of surrender. Surrender. And then here we go. We have this image here, which is in a spiral shape, kind of talking about that Fibonacci spiral shaped energy there. So the message from the Arcturian keys is what is also happening through this 1111 portal, what is being channeled through this portal. This light code is about surrender. So Spirit has been telling us for quite some time that there are so many things that we need to surrender. Surrendering our codependency, surrendering our feelings of attachment, surrendering the things within our energy space and within our emotional space, within our spiritual space that no longer serve us anymore for the highest good. Okay, and that's not saying that you throw away everything that you've ever been taught or that you've ever learned. I'm not saying to throw away your religious, views or your political views or viewpoints. Surrendering. I'm not telling you to surrender, relationships, family members, or any of the sort. This would be more about you guys going within and surrendering what is and what will be to the universe. This is such a stigma within the collective. It's been one of the hardest things for this generation and for these generations that are in the now that are responsible for making change in the world. This is one of those things that collectively, it's been a hard thing for one or several individuals to transmute through the idea of surrender, because there are a lot of things that we've seen in our emergence state of being and the duality of nature, and that's crazy because this is energy underneath the state of emergence. This is what it's the battle of illusions and duality of nature that we've had to emerge from in the state of being in order to gain the clarity that we've needed to fully surrender to the divine, to nature. And the Fibonacci is about nature and the fact that everything is an ongoing pattern of energy. Well, the card of surrender is telling us that basically, in order to free our own blueprints, in order to emerge, is to clean from within the blueprint of our own human design. Come into union with that energy that is not connected to a channeled source within the self. It's about connecting that self to the channeled source from within, surrendering to a higher power and allowing that state of consciousness to do what it's meant to do for the collective abundantly and in this state of emergence. It's about surrendering that which no longer serves anymore. It's about surrendering the stubbornness or the need for control or the need to know the outcomes of everything. It's about learning in the now to emerge from this state of being or from this cocoon and be the beautiful, transparent individual that you are, really, from a multifaceted state of being. A multifaceted being can still be transparent. And I feel like that's what the Arcturians are trying to tell us through this surrender and emergence activation, through the emergence activation, in being able to put ourselves in a state of nirvana through understanding the illusion, the illusionary aspect of the way that we have programmed ourselves. And it's surrendering to a higher power and letting these light codes come in and help us transmute our way out of that darkness that we have put our collective state in. I think that's another message that we've been getting over the last year, when we're talking about political views and the dark state. Okay. This is about our emergence coming out of the dark state programming. This is being able to keep our resonance as high as possible in vibration, so that what we see, that would be something that could strike fear into us and cause our emotional state of being and our spiritual state of being to lower itself on its frequency to feed that dark state energy. I think that collectively, we have all been receiving light code downloads throughout this whole entire time to be able to help us transmute what it is that we're seeing, and being told repetitively by spirit to be careful the energies that we channel, because they could be non-organic, and they will sway you into darkness while pretending to be an energy of a state of light, which we all have the duality of nature to contend with in the energy of illusions, which is bad Maya or bad prana. But it's our responsibility as sovereign beings to surrender this understanding of this duality of nature and of the state of illusions in order to resonate higher with the truth. So, another message that I've received is about being able to surrender what you think you know, and surrender what it is that you see based on illusions or a state of fear, which is fear is false evidence that appears real. So, the surrender of that false evidence is going to bring about clarity through the duality of illusions that we have all faced within the collective. And the thing about it is a lot of people are having a hard time channeling from their heart space, which is going to have a clearer message as to who and what you're channeling, or who and what you're able to decipher in your own intuition, versus when you're channeling with an open crown chakra. When you're channeling from an open crown chakra, you're actually not channeling from a clear state of mind. You're channeling from your crown chakra, which allows illusion to really set in if you're not careful or grounded. Um, Especially when we're doing shadow work. This is why energy manifestations are actually, or energy rituals to care and prepare the body for the spiritual and material journey that you experience simultaneously, is very important for you guys to integrate this duality into your state of surrender. Okay. So don't shoot the messenger, guys. I'm just channeling this how it comes in. But this state of emergence is very important for the human collective to understand how to transmute the duality of nature versus illusions to find your clarity in the surrender, because this is what spirit is asking us to do. This is what divine guidance from the highest of realms is coming in through these light codes to teach us. Okay, it's about the state of surrender and how important it is to allow this divine energy to come and help transmute these things in this state of surrender. Very important. Um, so, anyway, the state of surrender is really about release. Okay. A lot of you guys have been releasing a lot of shit, a lot of you guys have been in this energy of trying to understand the duality of your own natures. We're going to go ahead and talk about that here really quick. The duality is the energy that helps you feel at peace with your own inner nature. It helps you live in balance and in oneness and harmony so that you can continue your path in a cosmic consciousness. So it helps you discover life through the enjoyment of, and play of energy. And a lot of us have not been doing that because the state of illusions has kept us so trapped that this is what spirit is asking us to surrender in this time. When we walk through this portal, it's almost as if you guys looked at it as if you're actually walking through an energetic gateway, and this is how spirit showed me last night. You know, that's what these portals are really about. It's about you having the visual knowledge to energetically open up a door that is presented to you in a state of emergence and transformation. So, this inner duality that spirit has been talking about for the last 8 months is that energy of the numerological 2 by 2 energy. We're manifesting from a divine state. That is what is actually emerging from within us all. And it's being able to go and truly discern from within whether we're channeling that divine life source energy or we are channeling those non organic sources of information that are throwing us off of our path and creating that conflict of illusion within the emotional and intuitive state of your being. So, this is being stressed very heavily right now. In truth, without illusions, because spirit had to have a clearer voice somehow or another. Spirit has to have a clear voice amongst the illusion. So it's understanding this communication breakdown that we've been having over the last year through what it is that we've visually experienced or physically experienced in our lives in the last year, and what is emerging from it, and what are we surrendering in the process. What we're surrendering in the process is a majority of it are ego masks. What's coming off during these transformations are the ego masks that we've all been wearing. I think this is why another reason spirit channeled that energy of, well, the divine souls are taking their masks off. And I was once told by the Pleiadians in an astral experience a few years back, where they were wearing masks. And I asked them, well, I said, well, why are you guys wearing masks? And their response was, well, Brandy, if you think about it, human beings function from a state of metaphorical creation. And so I said, what do you mean by that? And they said, think about it, Brandy. You've asked this question 1,000 times to yourself over and over. Why do human beings mask how they feel? Or why do human beings wear a false mask to present themselves to the world while not being their authentic selves? And when they said that to me, they gave me the mystery revealed of the metaphor of an ego mask right then and there. And it took me all of this time to fully understand the message from the Pleiadians at that point in time. But now I understand fully and why they brought me back to that today, as a matter of fact, because this is another thing that we need to understand in the state of surrender is we're surrendering our ego masks. We're surrendering our masks of victimhood. We are surrendering our masks of oppression. We are surrendering our masks of color. We are surrendering our masks of religion. We are surrendering our masks of propaganda and false belief systems. We are surrendering so much in this energy. And we've all had this age-old question, is what is changing? Is anything changing? And I think Spirit brought me here to do this video today, to channel these messages, because you guys need answers. And you guys are about to walk into a very powerful, creative portal in 2 days. And this portal is very, very energy potent. And it's very important because this energy portal is one of many that has brought humankind into this state of surrender and awareness, because the duality of nature and illusions are revealing themselves in truths. And we're also watching a lot of people surrender themselves to their own divine nature and to their own divine voice within. So a lot of people are truly, truly in this state of emergence, coming to this state of surrender with the divine. And it's very beautiful energy. So what we have is an enormous state of enlightenment through all of the things that are taking place right now. So the energy of surrender is actually to help us focus on our heart and our feelings. Surrender is absolutely necessary to let go of old patterns that prevent you from opening up your heart. Surrender makes your fear vanish. That is beautiful. So, channeled messages coming in with the confirmation that walking into this portal collectively is going to help us remove the fear, banishment. We are going to surrender our fear to a state of love. And I really do believe that this message couldn't have come at a greater time in the world of contemplation right now, considering how things are panning out in the United States with this election. A lot of people have been fearful of the outcome of it. But I think Spirit wanted to remind us that no matter who takes the seat of power in the United States, in the presidency, I think Spirit wanted to remind us to keep our vibrations as high as possible, to not let the state of illusions that we see transforming in the world sway us internally from the emergence of our divine selves and from this new paradigm that we are creating. And it's to remind us that our creations, upon the ego surrender and the divine light codes that are being transmuted to all of us, those of you guys that are stepping up and stepping into this energy and channeling this energy to the truth beyond the illusions, those of you guys that are giving in service of yourselves to others from a nonprofit standpoint, you guys are going to be divinely blessed. You know, and that's not saying that you can't use your healing abilities and your modalities to help other people for a profit, but you have to use your discernment in that area too. You're not meant to bank and profit off of the transformation of other people. If you are a true light worker, I will agree with some of my brothers and sisters that have had this plight. You know, we are meant to give energy for energy. So that does require some sense of physical money exchange, because it is a part of alchemy. I'll explain that here again in a moment, when I actually get to the archetypal energies of the royal path. Okay, we're going to talk about that here in a second. But it is to help one another. We are meant to help each other. We are meant to trigger others to awaken. For those of you guys that are on that twin flame journey, if you do have that split soul definition, part of your mission is to not only integrate those two houses of energy within yourself and connect them to that sacral or that solar plexus source within you that is undefined. It is a part of your life's mission to allow your soul tribe to help you on your journey. And not only that, to help you find your soul tribe and to share your intel and your knowledge with others. And every person has a different piece of that knowledge and intel. And when you bring all of the pieces of that knowledge and all of that intel together, you guys are truly, truly lighting up the grid. So I think that that is another part of what we are to surrender in this awakening or in this emergence of humankind, um, dealing with the dualities of nature and finding our own clarity through illusion. It's not to judge others. It's not to, that's another thing that we're being called to surrender right now is judgment. Those of you that know that you're on the right path to helping other people, it's not to judge or blaspheme another person for them not being on the right path. It is actually for you as a light worker to try and shine some light and understanding and emergence of knowledge into the situation rather than coming from an egotistical place to judge another person for what they are or not doing as a light worker. Um, Spirit really wanted me to touch base on that because I've seen a lot of that going on in the collective as an observer lately. And for me, it kind of irks me anyway whenever we are, I understand some of us, even the best of us, we go through shadow work and we go through a state of confusion, or we go through, having to go and face ourselves in removing those ego masks that we put up to the world. And some of us just have to be more consciously aware and mindful of what is happening. And when you find yourself, even as a light worker, triggered or in an ego mask, the best thing that you can do is go within yourself and release that, and then transmute the situation from a place of surrender so that you can truly merge as your higher self and transmute that energy for that surrender and for that change. Okay, that is a lesson that every single person is not privy to escaping. Okay, and Spirit wanted me to touch base on that as well. So, with this energy, with these light codes that we are receiving from the universe and from these galactic waves of energy coming in, this is a really important area that they wanted to definitely have me channel through this 1111 portal energy. It's about walking out of that whole room of judgment and introspection and that hangman energy. So, what you've learned on a higher note is to take you into a higher state of emergence. Okay. So, anyway, surrender what needs to be surrendered. For different ones of you, for each one of you guys that watch this video, what you need to surrender, what Spirit is asking you guys to go in and surrender through these light codes that you guys are receiving, through this 1111 portal that you guys are walking into. As I was stating earlier, when we walk into portal energy, this is kind of about us going within and visualizing us actually walking into another room or into or through a energetic doorway which you can view in your mind. So when you open that door and you walk through this portal, you have to very go within and ask yourself what it is that you need to surrender right now in order to emerge from this situation of duality and illusion as your transparent self. Ask yourself what you need to surrender going into this portal and what it is that you wish to have emerge from this next transformation that you are being catapulted into. Okay, so either way, you have to understand that the energetic gateway is being opened for you, whether you understand that or understand it or not, whether you are welcoming it or whether you are not welcoming it, this energetic doorway is opening up for you. So if you are consciously aware of what is happening, therefore you're able to transmute and put intentions into this energetic portal of what you're about to walk into. If you're walking into it with intentions and the idea of what it is that you need to completely surrender from your past or past paradigms, when you walk through this energetic doorway, the emergence of your higher self is going to be allowed to come through with all clarity. No bullshit. No delusions. So, anyway, moving on to the next card. I talked about it. This is what is being transformed in your energetic blueprints, guys. This sacred energy of your own human design and your own blueprints are coming through. A lot of you guys are actually getting those light codes from your soul blueprints, soul retrievals, I'm being told. Positions of soul power are being retrieved. Some of you guys are actually taking your power and energy back from situations that were draining, that were non-organic, that were toxic, and not whole, and not wholly from within. You guys have been going through this serious energy of deliverance, of self-love, to the self, to deliver yourselves of all the energy fluctuations that were no longer serving you from a higher good. You guys have been through a lot. So a lot of, and it's because a lot of these light codes have been literally physically, emotionally, and spiritually changing everything about your genetic blueprint. Okay. So this energy has been very heavy over this last year. It's been a series of awakenings for human beings to really tap into their original DNA blueprints. Okay. So that's a lot. It's a lot coming in for the collective, but they told me to pull 3 cards and go off of the energy from the overall emergence. The overall energy is emergence. This is what is emerging. People surrendering their egos to really step into their own human genetic blueprint and from a galactic sense. Okay. Blueprints. We all have our blueprint, our own program that we bring with us in this life on Earth. In order to become fully balanced, we have to return to our most basic program so that we can follow the right path all the way from scratch. The energy of blueprint helps you to clean your programs and to delete what no longer suits you and what no longer serves a purpose. So that's why we were getting all of that scorpionic energy in the last couple of months, bringing things to a close and opening things back up for a point of emergence. So deaths and rebirths, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. Um, we've witnessed a lot of loss, over the last couple of years, in that sense of, what it is that, is dying. Um, a lot of relationships coming to an end, a lot of self behavior coming to an end, a lot of self integration taking place. Um, but like I said, this galactic energy of these portals coming in have really been genetically changing our blueprint as we speak. So that is one of the major energies that is the driving force behind this emergence and behind these portal energies. Why you guys have so many questions of how to navigate through what is happening. Um, this is also there's a lot of energy in the collective and have been for the last couple of years about divine souls loyalty. I think just channeling intuitively the loyalty card with the surrender and the blueprint, I think this is about the fact that for those of you that are actually willing to go in and do the work, and surrender the ego masks in order to learn more about your blueprint, your genetic blueprints, or understanding and asking the right questions from the universe, presenting answers to you. I think what you guys are going to find in this energy is that there's going to be this sense of loyalty that is kind of emerging within the collective. And I do believe that a part of it is in reference to portal energies coming into union with each other, taking the masks off, sacred union. I think what it is surrendering the ideas also that we need to put those expectations of surrender onto other people in order to become more loyal to ourselves. I think in order to come into full union and loyalty with yourself, you have to accept the fact that when you surrender to the higher power, when you surrender to the divine, when you surrender to source, when you surrender to your understanding and your blueprint connection to these energies on a quantum level, the emergence that you guys are going to experience, it's going to push you past the illusions of duality into power and passion and forgiveness. And it's also going to clear your conscience of any guilt or shame so that you can truly step into gratitude and your own intuition from a recognition standpoint of being able to reconnect cognitively with your higher self. And this third wave energy that is coming through this portal is to help humankind reach a state of openness and understanding and communication that it did not once have before. Because the state of enlightenment and confidence that is being constructed within this integration of emergence is a beautiful one. Okay, so honestly, this is why sacred geometry is important to humankind and for us to understand that it is a cosmic language and it is a language that is completely and utterly universal. We have the point of surrender coming through emergence, understanding our blueprints and why things within our blueprint and our DNA, the molecular structure of our blueprints and our DNA are changing with every awakening or emergence of the soul connecting to divine source. Okay, so that is the message coming in from the Arcturian keys. And I'm going to move forward and we're going to tap into this book here that I have by Rebecca Magic. And so the first archetypal energy that I'm going to touch on is the magician. And then I'm going to touch on the archetypal energy of the high priestess. And then I'm going to go into the archetypal energy of the hanged man, because the hanged man card and the magician and the high priestess, those are always prominent major arcana cards when it comes to major contemplations and understanding and tapping into the truth beyond illusions, especially the high priestess card. The magician card and the archetypal energy from the magician is actually talking about the fact that the magician symbolizes the motive force of the universe. And in this aspect, the magician has all of the tools that he needs for alchemy of this energy and translating and transmuting it from as above to so below. It really will help you understand what it is that makes you the magician, and also at the same time the intuitive aspect of it and learning the difference between good Maya and bad Maya, which is good energy and bad energy. And when some of you guys are channeling You guys are being told by spirit source to actually go within and close off your crown chakra. You can do this through simple Reiki meditations or simple meditations, period. You guys just need to be consciously aware enough to go in, close off your crown chakra so that when you channel, you guys are channeling straight from your heart, which means that there is no lies or illusions that can come through those channeled messages that you receive from your heart space. You're going to know whether those channeled messages are coming from a divine source or whether they're coming from a lower vibrational or an organic source that's pretending to be a being or source of light but really is not. You guys are really spirit is saying that you guys are getting a crash course lesson in divine of actual empathetic and telepathic and clairvoyant. You guys are getting a crash course lesson in interfacing with other energies. So you guys need to really batten down the hatches on your chakra areas. And I would just highly recommend that you guys just give yourselves the loving energy and space that you all need. It's 2:22 on the clock. That's another sign and sync to me that 222. Everything is created in 2 by 2 by 2. You have to have the duality of nature. You have to have chaos in order to have order. You have to have dark in order to have light. And you have to have light in order to have the darkness. This is about learning that integrated duality of nature within all of you and allow yourselves to emerge from the deep state, okay? And come into this awareness of light codes and light source and Akashic knowledge in order to truly awaken the blueprints within you. And why we're going back to that, okay, so tapping into the magician energy, activating the archetypal alliance within you is one of the best things that you can actually do on this journey to really dive down deep and find that universal blueprint within yourself. Being loyal to your journey and to your mission. This thing about loyalty is also about divine feminine and divine masculine integration. And for a lot of us that are doing the inner work to integrate energies within the self, to come into self union, it is sacred union. Okay. Whether you are with a divine counterpart or whether you are not, Spirit does want me to put this out there to you guys is that those of you guys that are doing the work on a solitary note, you guys are integrating the two halves of yourself back together. So that is in its finest explanation, sacred union. You will come into sacred union with yourselves before you come into sacred union with another person. And for that, the loyalty to yourself and the surrender to the divine in order to molecularly work on the evolution of your own blueprint is the purpose. It is the emergence, okay, of sacred union within yourself. That's one of the things that they also wanted me to channel to you guys during this message because a lot of you guys are struggling. A lot of you guys are struggling in the Twin Flame Collective. A lot of you guys are struggling on YouTube to find answers. A lot of you guys are struggling within yourself to surrender to the divine plan that you guys have blueprinted for yourselves in this lifetime experience that you guys are experiencing. You guys owe it to yourselves to be loyal enough to yourselves to love yourselves during this integration because it's one of the most important things. Transmuting fear and turning pain into power of any kind or stepping in your own power and truly emerging from the experiences that you're having, guys, is the key to unlocking those doorways within yourself. And so that is one of the main lessons that they were going to have me touch on. So anyway, talking about the magician and why you guys have seen the magician pop up lately in as archetypal energies in tarot is because you guys are experiencing things on a quantum level. You guys, those of you guys that are doing the work and you guys are tapping more into your spiritual selves, or you're tapping into universal energies, and you are receiving these light codes to no avail. This is just a friendly reminder, guys, that we're going to talk about the magician archetypes from within, and how the magician archetypes and how the high priestess archetypes are really important for you guys at this time to understand and learn to really work with at this point in time in your life. I'm going to talk about the archetypal energy of the hanged man because a lot of us have been in hanged man energy for the last several months, myself included. But this is a collective message, and I am being told by my spirit guides that I am tapping into almost all of the human collective at this point in time. And they're telling me there's no one's energy to be left out of this channeled message. This is happening for everyone. Okay. Okay. So anyway, again, again, we have the magician. And this is where Rebecca actually breaks down every archetypal energy of the major arcana. Another shout out to Rebecca Magic. I love you, girl. Thank you so much for your time and your energy into this creation. Guys, for those of you that don't know, you can find her under Rebecca Magic on Facebook or Instagram. This book is called The Royal Path. And with this book, she did create it with the intention of sharing this book to provide the reader with an activating guide to understanding different aspects of the self and through the characters of the tarot, also known as the Royal Path. So the tarot is much more than just a deck of cards. I'm reading you guys the excerpt from the back of this book. The tarot is a technology used to tap into the subconscious mind in order to reprogram the way the one thinks and behaves. The characters are personifications of the foundational frequencies of all creation. This means that the frequencies are also within you. Without you, these keynotes have no instruments for their song, and they along with your assistance from the archetypal alliance, it was fabricated at the beginning of time. And that's what she's referring to Akashic knowledge and how each one of the major arcana cards personify these archetypal energies within the universe and how you yourself are tapping into them. So anyway, again, I'm only going to delve into the magician and the priestess and the hangman archetypes today, but that's just where spirit was pointing me, so that's where we're going to leave it at. And so with the magician, we have what she describes. It says, the magician one. The magician takes the limitless potential of source and makes it relative to humans. The magician symbolizes the motive force of the universe, and as a human microcosm of the universe in him or her, it represents the will. The number one expresses the law of conservation of energy. 1111 portal, guys. This is why I wanted to touch on the magician here, because she really breaks this down numerologically, sacredly. Anyway, I'm going to read on. The number one expresses the law of conservation of energy. The magician obtains the keys of alchemy through his understanding of the laws of nature and oneness. His expanded perception and alignment with the will of the one reveals to him the most sustainable and righteous methods of thought and action in order to carry out his own will as it serves a larger plan. The magician within us is the force which guides us to organize our being in such a way that we become aligned with that which we wish to manifest. The magician remains aware that all of creation is alchemy and the result of the intertwining relationships of elements. The bells of the sanctuary at the church are going off. Synchronicity. The magician remains aware that all of creation is alchemy and the result of intertwining relationships of the elements. He understands that in order to effectively manipulate his own being, he must have an understanding of the relationship of the elements, as well as a thorough understanding of how they operate within inside of him. The elements of the earth, air, water, and fire become his guides. These are translated as physicality, his mentality, his emotionality, and his soul. These are the tools that he accesses as he moves through life as a conscious creator. They are the elements through which he channels divine guidance to accomplish his mission, both of today and the future. His symbol for Earth, physicality, is the sword. So, for those of you guys that have been misguided as to why the magician and what the sword in representation in front of the magician means, which this blew my mind, thank God. I had this revelation with Rebecca reading this book. This is what activated me the other night when I read this. The physicality of the earth symbol in front of the magician is actually the sword and not the pinnacle. And so this symbolizes the struggle of the material realm and the ability to either conquer or be conquered. Now, his symbol for air mentality is the pinnacle. So it is actually air that represents the pinnacle in front of the magician. Why? Because ultimately our thoughts are what become things. We see our conceptions are inevitably our manifestation. His symbol for water emotionally is the cup, for the heart is the holy grail of our existence. The cup is the container for the water, just as the heart is the vessel for our emotions. When our cup is full, it can spill onto others. When our heart is full, it can be pure love in all directions. His symbol for fire is the soul. The soul is a rod or wand. The Kundalini Shekinah life force energy is said to circulate throughout the spine, which is like a rod or a wand. The rod or wand is like a staff which supports the perseverance of the soul, representing first the struggles of the path, and later the wisdom which holds us upright. The magician considers these inherent tools to be all that he needs to accomplish any and all tasks on his life journey. It's how he keeps things simple and concise. By keeping things elementary, he creates a system which prevents him from being distracted from what is real and foundational. With this manageable system, he maintains a state of empowerment, as all he needs is always right as at his disposal. No matter where he finds himself within the realms of time and space, his tools are universally acceptable. That is the loyal energy that is coming in. And Spirit is reminding me that on the magician card, you see above the magician, you see the symbol of the infinity, which in one aspect, in retrospect, masculine energy, it does represent loyalty. That's what they were talking about. The loyalty of the universe is always there. So it is important to surrender your divine blueprint to the divine, because the divine already has everything worked out for you. You always have the tools to manifest it. So that makes a lot more sense. Thank you, Spirit, for that divine guidance and intervention to integrate these tools that I have in front of me as the magician today to deliver this message. So back to the focal point. So, representing the first struggles on the path and later the wisdom which holds us upright, the magician considers these inherent tools to be all that he needs to accomplish any and all tasks of his life journey. It's how he keeps things simple and concise. By keeping things elementary, he creates the system which prevents him from being distracted, what is real and foundational. So, no matter where he finds himself within the realms of time and space, he has universal access. The magician calls upon the air element to get in touch with his mental state. He was aware that all things begin as thought. He aligns his thoughts with what he wishes to manifest, and he does not waste his thoughts on power on that which does not serve his plan. So he strategically organizes and programs his thoughts to work for him and ultimately for the one, which is divine creator. So as long as you are in alignment with the divine one within yourself, your divine union within self is bringing you into complete alignment with what it is that you wish to emerge. So he aligns his thoughts with that with what he wishes to manifest. So he does not waste his thoughts power on that which does not serve his plan. The magician knows that next he must integrate the water element with great discernment, as the magnetic power of water, uncontrolled, may spill over into the mental realm, creating confusion. So when you're emotional, you are confused, whether you see that or not. The magician calls upon the water element to aid in his creative pursuits by conjuring his emotions in a way that is precisely aligned with his thoughts. So this watery power impregnates his intentions, magnetizing their power birth creation. The magician knows that when he unifies his inner parts elements in according with both natural and divine law, his potential is increased infinitely. The universe is naturally in support of all details of your plan, so as long as your plan is built upon its law, if any of our thoughts or actions resist this law, we are only fabricating more self imposed limitations and obstacles which must eventually be conquered. So, the magician within must very cautiously and intentionally merge his emotions with his thoughts. And as you just said, emergence, right? I just said emergence, didn't I? The magician within must very cautiously and intentionally merge his emotions with his thoughts. As once this is done, the process is amplified and the initiation of a particular manifestation is ignited. Should his thoughts align with his emotions, or should his emotions align with his thoughts? The magician allows his emotions to guide him to his true feelings. So, this is why you guys are divinely getting the message that you need to open up your heart space and stop channeling from your third eye and your crown chakras, because that is not where you truly channel from. You channel from your heart, because your heart will reveal the truth of everything. Okay? Booyah. Or boom kanoni. I like that. No, that's not me rubbing it in. That spirit saying, how many times do we got to channel this? There's so many people. Anyway, back to the magician being the vessel that seeks balance. The magician is the vessel that seeks to balance all forces within the one, which is the divine plan. So, the magician allows his emotions to guide him to his true feelings, and there he can determine whether or not these feelings serve his highest good and the highest good of all. Then he chooses to either shift what he is feeling and find a frequency that is more in support of his plan, or he allows the feeling to take precedence, tweaking a part of his thoughts as it is necessary in the fulfillment of the divine plan. He provides the space for elemental convergence, and in the matter of the relationship between head and heart, air and water, he knows when one must compensate for the sake of harmonious alliance with the other in the name of divine order. The magician calls upon the earth element to utilize all that is in his environment for the maximization of his potential. He faces all challenges to clear the way for what must be done. He cuts the cords to habits and relationships that do not serve the plan. He prepares for what is ahead by strengthening his body and immune system. He gives thanks for his health and honors life by nurturing and caring for his physical being, keeping all somatic systems functioning synergistically. My bad. He understands that each part of his inner world correlates to parts of the macrocosmic world. In maintaining his own body, he does his part in maintaining the world. The experienced magician will study nature in both the earth and sky, cultivating knowledge of plants as well as the stars, discovering their wisdom as it relates to himself, then applies his realizations to his reality for the benefit of mankind. He may do so by practicing homeopathy and herbalism, using plants to enhance his experience whenever possible. He may also do so by developing an understanding of the cycles and the seasons as they are measured by the stars, allowing him to align with the rhythm of the cosmos. This opens him up to divine guidance and foresight to make the best decisions not only for his future, but for the future of mankind and all life. The magician calls upon the fire element to light his inner flame and to ignite his soul. The fire element activates inspiration, passion, and determination, which serves to support and amplify the creative process. When we are feeling lazy or a lack of motivation to carry out a plan, big or small, we can call upon the fire element to remind us of the purpose carried within each of our intentions. Fire reminds us of the importance of bringing the soul into all we think, say, and do. When our thoughts are reflecting despair or weakness, the fire of soul has power to burn them away, purifying them and replacing them with thoughts of divine purpose and strength. When we speak with holy fire on our tongues, it activates our words, magnifies the spiritual fire as the driving force. The energy is sure to be used most constructively for the highest good of the one and all. Our actions become empowered by the greatest force, and all of the courage and confirmation necessary to perform our duties is found present within. The Hebrew letter Aleph is associated with the magician as it holds the number value of 1. The Aleph is a summary symbol which contains all the wisdom within the arcanum 1, the magician. Aleph reminds us of our willpower and our purpose to apply it correctly as responsible co-creators of the universe. The pictorial symbol for Aleph is the ox, which denotes strength and leadership. These are truly the makings of a master magician. Okay, now I'm going to take a pause. This is what I have been trying to channel for so very long in multitudes of retrospect from every single message I have put out there until today. And especially collectively, what I have been drawing in observation, I have channeled this message for myself to transmute and actually give to the collective. And now I see why Spirit not only guided me to purchase this book, but why Spirit also is driving me at this point in time to read the excerpts that Rebecca put in this book specifically to activate you guys. This activation within us all is very, very important. And every time I have channeled the magician energy for a collective reading from the tarot, this is the message that is really coming through from Spirit, and this understanding this archetype within you, and why it is important right now through sacred geometry within your own human design at this point in time to surrender to the outcomes of all that you worry about or speculate about at this point in time, because your soul is guiding you to this place of surrender so that you understand from the magician archetypal energy of who you are and why you need not worry or fret. Is that this what the universe is trying to say, I guess, is that the universe is loyal to your demands. The universe is loyal to your needs. But you have to be loyal to yourself as the magician to surrender what it is that you need to surrender from this perspective, because you've been given all of the tools that you need to manifest your own emergence, okay, from your own illusions and duality to find your own enlightenment and confidence in this world. This is enabling you to be open and transparent through this surrender that you guys are experiencing. And that's amazing. This energy of the 1111 portal is bringing out your inner understanding of the archetype of the magician within you. And this is what you can co-create in this energy. You can co-create magic and alchemy of mastery through this 1111 portal. You step into the energetic alchemy of you being that archetypal magician. Thoughts become things, guys. The wisdom and the arcanum within you through the numerology of the number 1, through the message of the number 1, and the fact that you have that multiplied. You have the multiplied energy of 11, and then 11, 2020. You have 11 and 222. We saw that number on the clock earlier, 222. You have everything you need from the dual aspect of things. You have everything that you need from all of the elements coming in simultaneously to aid you, uh, using all of the elements one by one, alchemizing that as the master. So they wanted me to move on, and so they also want you to have a solidified view. And in this book, Rebecca gives us a solidified view of the relationship with the magician inside. So I'm going to go ahead and read this off to you guys. It says, simultaneously, we have secured the realizations that we are made of the very elements which our personal creative tools are made of. We are one with the forces in which we work with. And so that's the message of spirit coming in, making you guys fully aware of the clairvoyance within you to tap into the energies that you are connecting to make sure that they are a source of light and they are not a lower vibrational source of information. When you're channeling from your spirit guides, make sure that you're not channeling from non-organic beings, or make sure that you are divinely connected to the one, okay? You're going to have multiple spirit guides. Some of you guys have animal guides, some of you guys have ancestral guides. Okay. Now, when it comes to those ancestral guides, I am going to be specific and say that some of those ancestral energies you do need to be aware of. Some of the lower vibrational energies that you guys need to be aware of when you're channeling, you need to be channeling. You need to be channeling on a light frequency from your heart space, so that you have the intuitive truth to know the discernment between lower vibrational energies that are posing as the light, or if you're really channeling, lower vibrational energies. If you guys are channeling lower vibrational energies, you guys are channeling from not your heart space. And it could be in result of emotional disturbances, grief, loss, stress or worry, or any of those kind of low vibrational frequencies that you guys may be experiencing through shadow work. Guys, when you're channeling, you really need to be aware of what you're channeling, okay? Because you guys could be channeling darker beings that are posing, and you guys really got to interface. Uh, Protect yourselves when you are interfacing with other dimensional energies, okay? You really need to use your discernment and really open up that heart space and channel from the heart, so that you know what you're channeling is truth, okay? And that's from divine source. That's from source, the one that I am presence wants you to know that. Uh, Divine source within yourself gets really frustrated when you guys uh, aren't channeling proper energy, okay? And you're not channeling it properly. They wanted to put that message out there. So anyway, the energy that you guys use to create is borrowed from an infinite source. So you have to understand that that infinite source is within you, and that's what I was talking about. When you are channeling from that pure infinite source within you, especially from your heart space, and you're not allowing the illusions and the distortions to come through, which can come through from your crown and third eye chakras. So that's where you guys need to protect those areas right now during this integration and surrender period. You guys just need to surrender the worries and the grief, and the things that are kind of opening you guys up to create blockages for your emergence right now through all of the light codes that you guys are receiving. So another is how you can develop the relationship with the magician inside of you is the more wisely and compassionately we learn to channel source power, the more we gain access to it. So that actually just confirms exactly what I was just saying about spirit's message being really forceful about the surrender of channeling non-organic beings or beings of a lower vibration that are not serving your highest good. Some people would refer to these energies as demonic. Now, I don't use those terms because I channel on a more quantum level. I firmly believe that those energies cannot harm you or sway you or control the outcome of things in your life as long as you are not giving those energies your free will, which means sometimes giving those energies the time of day sometimes really is. We just don't need to pay any mind or notice them. If you notice those lower vibrational energies in your frequency, don't give them the attention that they're seeking. Some of those energies are going to be seeking attention from you, and that's how they're swaying you and throwing the illusions out there to you. And I'm not discriminating between energies, okay? So that's why we're just going to use the non-disclosure. Like, I'm not going to use the labels in this disclosure with you guys, because these energies can be labeled a multitude of things and they can be quite confusing. But what I'm here to help you do is to simplify this knowledge and just say that as long as you're feeling those lower vibrational energies in your frequency, you have the power and the capability to not give them your attention. And sometimes these energies and frequencies can actually move very fluidly through people, places, and things. So these things will be a conduit for these energies, as we all are. We are all in constant energy fluctuations. We constantly, as electromagnetic fields, we are constantly channeling energy. So we can channel energy from other beings, other dimensions, and inanimate objects, places, and things that we experience. So when I mean don't allow the lower vibrational energies to come in on a multi-dimensional level and sway you from your focus, sway you from this need to be able to surrender and trust in the divine within yourself, because that is a part of taking control and having power of your free will. So these lower vibrational energies cannot manipulate you. Okay. Spirit wanted me to very thoroughly explain this to you guys. There were lots of things. My apologies, guys. This video is a long one, but Spirit really, really wanted me to channel to you guys from a place of integrity, from a place of truth, and from a place of good Maya to help you guys through these portal energies and through these transformations that you guys are experiencing. And for some of you guys that are tapping into your clairvoyance and your mediumship abilities, um, is to really, 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 really pay very close attention to what kind of energies you're allowing yourself to channel right now. That is one of the main ones. And trust me, my spirit guides have been beating down on me for quite some time to do the same. And I can honestly tell you from a personal standpoint, the more that I've listened to them and the more that I have truly gone in and truly begun to do the interfacing work as a clairvoyant, as a medium, I am not channeling from a low vibrational space anymore. And that was something that they were bringing to my awareness in those last videos that I channeled, and why, things on my channel weren't working for me. So all of this last 3 months of my disappearance from YouTube has been about me integrating this energy and coming at you guys from a transparent place and being able to go through my own lessons of discernment in order to help you guys. So that's where that coming from is mastery, self mastery. The energy that we use is created and is borrowed from an infinite source. So we have to understand that that infinite source and that infinite place is inside of us. And the more wisely and compassionately we learn to channel source power, the more we gain access to it. I can attest that is the truth. So it's also about us directing our free will to be in alignment with the will of the divine. When we assist or when we resist alignment with the will of the divine, we resist our own flow of natural energy. I can also attest that this is true. When we align with our being with the universal truth, we are in harmony with all. When we align our being with universal law, we are entrusted with an enormous power to perform great miracles. I would attest that that is true too, because when you are given the power, when you are given these abilities and these knowledges and these powers during integration and times of truly surrendering to the loyalty of the divine, and how gracious divine creation is within us, when we do surrender to the harmony of it, uh, we are truly aligning. Um, and when we align with universal law, and understanding the universal laws, and where we can align ourselves with universal law, you are within the bounds of the universe to co-create from a mastery level that I can't even begin to describe to you how amazing it is, you know. And you guys don't see me manifesting my wildest dreams. I'm not manifesting fame and riches and all these other things, but I'll tell you right now, the alchemy of manifestation that I have been able to experience is pure enlightenment. It's I wouldn't say that it's been easy. Fuck, enlightenment is like fucking baptizing a cat, and like let me tell you, it's not fucking pretty. Like I am in no way, shape, or form going to sit here and pretend to be perfect to anyone. I've never been this way, and I'm not going to ever channel myself to be that. But I'll tell you right now, um, with enormous power, you are meant to be held accountable and responsible for the usage and for the sharing of this power and this ability, and to help others and yourself create a world that is totally based on oneness and co-creation with with all of it. Because with great power comes the great responsibility of knowing that you need other like-minded souls and energies to co-create with. Because what is the fucking point of co-creating by yourself? There is no point. That's why we have divine masculine and divine feminine energies. That's why we have the opposites of attraction. That's why we have the law of attraction. This is why we have the law of knowledge. You know, knowledge is meant to be shared collectively, and as it should be. But anyway, back to aligning with our being in the universal law, we are entrusted by the universe to carry out and perform great miracles, awakening, helping others awaken, awakening ourselves. That is a job within itself. For everything that you do universally to help yourself, you are universally and collectively helping other people simultaneously by the thousands, and you just don't even know it yet. Uh, our inner light, as it is connected to Arcanum, it is always present and ready to assist us in the pursuit of aligning with our will and our divine will so that we may bring it to life. Okay. So, this inherent wisdom is eager to support us in awakening with our awareness to our purpose and putting it into motion. And that is how you can have a solidified union with the magician within you. Thank you, Rebecca. Okay, so anyway, we're going to go into the veiled Isis, which is the high priestess, and then I'm going to get some final messages for you guys from the Dragon Fae oracles and the Sacred Power oracles. I was going to pull some influence of the angels as well. Let's see if we could get some insight into the world's common life contemplation questions and today's like global movement forward. Uh, for those of you guys that are willing to stick around, I know this video is really long, but it's intentional and it's very important. So just bear with me, guys. So the explanation of the high priestess archetype within and why I'm reading this, guys, to you today is also about the veiled Isis. This is divine feminine. Now, from the magician standpoint, that is divine masculine energy within the archetypes within you and how they are simultaneously working with each other. You know, you always have this energy of the magician within you teaching you how to use your discernment and how to utilize the tools of all of the energies around you to truly alchemize the outcome of your own surrender and blueprint, um, in your own emergence into the world, and how you're going to integrate that part of you into the world. So, for those of you guys that don't know what archetypal energies are, I've talked about them a lot lately. So, this is where we're delving into Rebecca Magic's Royal Path. Okay. Because she couldn't be more on point about what I've been trying to explain to you guys. But, anyways, the priestess explained is just above, as the magician is the active principle of the balance of the above and below. The veiled Isis, also known the high priestess, is receptive to principle of the same game of balance. She is the one who holds space of balance from within, fecundating through the spirit and purifying all conceptions before they're able to become manifestations in the material realm. She reveals that the forces of polarity around us are but a reflection of the dual forces within. So hence her place as the second arcanum within this sequence, and why the number 222 along with the numbers 111 are coming in for us during this portal. These numbers are really important. And even if you guys have been seeing the number 444, that's also a simplification of the number of 2, which represents duality. Coming into union, for those of you guys that have been seeing 444 and feeling that union, that sacred union energy coming in to simplify it in nature. Okay. This is the unity within the self. It is manifesting from within you first. Obviously, you've got to know that. So the high priestess reveals that the forces of polarity around us are a reflection of the dual forces within, hence her place. Anyway, the veiled Isis teaches us that if we wish to effectively manifest a reality in the image of our desires, we must first look within the examination of those desires. Are your desires in alignment with nature? Are they justified by cosmic law? Or do your desires carry subconscious guilt and shame? If they do, we need to work on releasing that. When our desires are not aligned with the highest intentions for our life, some part of our awareness will be occupied by feelings that do not serve us in any way, truly limiting us until we're finally ready to see the whole truth. So these feelings are essentially there to protect us from progressing in life without having attained the necessary knowledge to thrive. Consciousness is such an intelligent design that it is set up so that we must stay within a lesson until we learn it, so that we may move forward only when we are truly ready. This might not seem true when we find ourselves in a challenging situation, but why did the universe put me in this position if I wasn't ready? Because you are ready, is the truth. It may not be seeming like it to the rational mind, but the picture is much bigger than our limited human perspective. And this is why it is important to maintain the fool's eye perspective of faith in the divine order of things. And this is why we need to surrender the need to know everything, because there is a divine order to things. And we understand that through our lessons. Sorry, I dropped a card. We understand that through our lessons, in divine timing, when we're trying to force a situation and it does not work out for our highest good, because there are some things that you just cannot force. It's having the understanding to understand that things must move accordingly into divine timing. True story. Lesson, spirit will thump your ass if you don't understand that. You will repeat the same lessons over and over until you understand the truth of it. So for some of you guys that are like asking me, well, Brandy, how many times do I got to get fucking my ass kicked by the same life lesson over and over and over? Well, my message, along with Spirit's message for you, is that, honey, until you learn the truth of why you've had to go through the experiences you've gone through, you're not going to move forward into another lesson until you understand it, not just understand it. And until you stop putting yourself in those paths of forcing change. And that's what a lot of us try to do. We try to force change. And so what we need to do, instead of trying to force the change that is needed or required, we have to surrender. And sometimes that means letting go of people That means letting go of a situation. That means letting go of a certain energy resonance in order to understand the blueprint of it. The truth is the blueprint. So it's the loyalty to you have to your own soul to repeat these lessons until you surrender them to the truth. Guys, that is heavy. Wow. Okay, so thanks, Spirit, for combining sacred geometry with the royal path today, and why these, these messages have been coming to me. Like I swear, everything I've touched on, I have intuitively been witnessing in the last several weeks. Sorry, guys, mind blown. Anyway, the veiled Isis teaches us that these feelings that we have about the whole truth are essentially there to protect us from progressing in life without having attained the necessary knowledge to thrive. So consciousness is in such an intelligent design that we must stay with the lesson. So why did the universe put me through this if I wasn't ready? It's because the answer is that we were. And so our rational mind is always going to try to convince us to stay in a certain situation when we should walk away, or convince us that, well, this person is this and this and this and this, without ever truly really knowing them physically or personally, in order to gain that spiritual enlightenment of understanding this person's true dual nature. So when we're going to mindlessly judge other people that we have no personal knowledge over, how are we going to judge this person for being successful? Or how are we going to judge this person for not, being successful enough, when we don't truly know that person's walk or surrender, their own blueprint, or when we're not truly living it from someone else's blueprint. We are living this experience from our own blueprints. So what needs to emerge is the understanding of collective universal knowledge that every person has a different key. Every person walks through different doorways. Every person goes through different lessons. Every person has a different journey and a different experience through that journey. It is not for you to judge from a place of ego. So those things also have to be surrendered through the veil. Whether we're ready for the information that we're receiving or not, this is the message of the high priestess within us all, the archetype within us all, looking at things from beyond the fool's eye perspective of things, and having faith in the divine order of all things. This is when a priestess or someone who comes into their form of spirituality knows the truth beyond the veil. This is when you can truly tap into your intuitive gifts from a non-judgmental standpoint, which is why you channel with your open heart and not your mind. You channel from your heart and not your mind. When you're channeling from your mind, you're going to have ego blockages. Okay. So the veiled Isis helps us in order to shine a light on all these hidden insights in our subconscious thoughts and emotions. She takes us on a journey of inner exploration where the feelings guide us to the truth. From this space, we can work on eliminating shame and guilt by resonating or reasoning with our desires, either fortifying them through justification of their purpose as divine, or transforming them through necessity of alignment with nature in the name of spiritual progression. When we get real with what we feel, we authentically determine what feelings serve the highest good and apply them accordingly to our thoughts as a means of support in the process of manifestation. Okay, if we're examining our emotions with honesty, we come across feelings that do not serve our highest good. So we take advice from the veiled Isis and to transform that energy into something more useful. For example, if we come across feelings of anger toward another person, we may neutralize that anger with the opposite force, like forgiveness. This will help release energy that's been holding us back from performing at our best. And another way to reason with this feeling of anger is turning it into something useful, and to ask, why are you angry, and learn from it. Why I'm upset with so and so, or perhaps it's a quality within them which they expressed in a way that hurt me. But the veiled Isis would make the most of this information by turning anger and determination into neutralize this expression with the collective consciousness. So use your anger to fuel a positive outcome for the collective, and you have succeeded in purifying your intentions. Once purified, your intentions are then granted permission to pass through the gates of the veiled Isis and into the unveiled Isis so that they may be materialized into the world in a way that supports a well being of the whole. Much of the symbolism associated with Arcanum number 2 portrays the truth that the reason without intuition is incomplete. Logic and intuition must be equally tempered for a point of balance to be achieved as the foundation for manifestation to take place. Once this point of inner balance is reached, the universe is ready to reflect it back to you in physical form. The veiled Isis reminds us of the necessity to clear with who we are inside, so that the world outside of us reflects this sense of clarity. The degree which we can confidently face our own reflection is the degree to which we may confidently face the world. The more than that, the inner conflict that is present, the more we will continue to experience conflict in the world. When we suppress our fears, anxieties, pain, and self-doubt, they manifest in our outer world as confusion and chaos. The more we muffle our inner voice, the more loudly our physical environment must speak to us in order to get our attention. So hence why some people have nightmares. Nightmares is another way for your subconscious to get your attention when you're not paying attention to the messages that are being given to you on how to transmute this alchemy going on in your lives. Why your internal peace is not at a state of ease is why. It's everything that you embody from within, you're going to attract to you externally. So that is the lesson of the high priestess. You know, the more we muffle your inner, and the more we muffle our inner voices and our true desires, the more those things become stifled and distorted. So that's another lesson. It's moving through the feminine energies of ourselves to understand that our distortion will actually come from the ignorance or from the lack of acknowledgement of our desires or the things that we suppress. They will eventually become ugly and distorted. And so that is where we go in and not take that, what is it? The self, the guilt, shaming, all that while we're sitting there shaming ourselves or guilting ourselves, we're transforming ourselves into a non-organic being that is not feeling and functioning from that higher resonance that we are. Okay. Self-doubt, all that pain, chaos, all of it. So it's time that, well, I guess the lesson of the priestess is saying that, the practice of looking inward is an inevitable part of existence. It's imperative that we frequently check in with ourselves to see what our inner shadow work that must be done in order to come to a state of balance. Essential to the creative process. So when we do not regularly turn inward, we face the risk of subconsciously allowing destructive thought programs to enter our awareness. We must act like the veiled Isis as a gatekeeper for what we're allowing into the sacred womb of our mind, and so as to avoid the buildup of cognitive dissonance. Okay, that's when we separate. That's when we just separate ourselves from truth, from knowledge, from the transformation of being able to be our own savior. Okay. So the veiled Isis is self-forgiving and understands that due to the fluid nature of consciousness, certain thoughts and feelings may enter through a side door. Okay. Therefore, she consistently surveys the mind through evaluating its concepts, contents, and discerning their purpose as it relates to the divine plan. She is both merciful and austere. She forgives unwelcome thoughts and redirects them for the highest good. So when we often find ourselves facing uncomfortable thoughts and feelings that we have been long hidden, the veiled Isis guides us to make peace with these thoughts and feelings, resonating with them and understanding why they formed in the first place, and then transforming them into energy that may be used for the greatest good. She shows us how to own our own mother and father energy and promoting our innate ability to navigate challenging and overwhelming emotions, changing and channeling them into constructive habits instead of allowing the destructive habits to take control. The Hebrew letter Bet is associated with the veiled Isis as it holds the number value of 2. The Bet is a summary, a symbol of which contains all of the wisdom of the Arcanum 2 and the veiled Isis. The Hebrew letter Bet is symbolized by house tent and is container for one or the divine. In regard to Arcanum 2, it is pointing out that the body is the vessel for spirit to enter and the mind is the container for the truth. We need only look within our own being to find what it is that we seek. Okay? And so it is. Okay, so they want me to just delve right in and talk about the martyr or the hanged man energy, which is the main energy that has surfaced for the Divine Collective over the last several weeks, several months. The hanged man energy has been very, very prominent through these last several retrogrades. They want me to tap into Rebecca's lovely book here to give you guys some clarity to the hangman energy. And now with having you guys understanding the archetypal energies of the magician and the high priestess through this portal energy, you guys can truly discern for yourselves through your own free will what needs to stay and what needs to go for your own personal journeys during this integration and during this this portal initiation for you guys. So right away we can make a zodiacal reference to the 12th house, the zodiac sign of Pisces, which represents sacrifice and expiation. Here we discover the key to interpreting the wisdom of Arcanum. And I'm not even sure what number is that card. Hold on. Roman numerals. Sorry, I'm not well versed with those energies or numbers. Okay. Sorry, guys. So, hey. Roman numeral number 12. 1 and 2, guys. Can't make this shit up. Anyway, Roman numeral number 12. The key to interpreting the wisdom is the martyr or the hanged man. It's positioned as a result of either a righteous sacrifice or punishment. Either way, the universal or personal, intentional or forced expiation is being achieved. We've been talking about this through the whole entire retrograde celestial alignment period, where spirit was giving a lot of the messages that karma's moving through. A lot of us are ending cycles, beginning cycles, ending things, old paradigms, timelines, etc. This is a very powerful number. They said that the Mayan calendar ended in 2012. Well, I don't actually believe that that's the case. I believe that the Mayan calendar actually in 2012 triggered a beginning of sort. Okay, we'll go into that later. But it makes definite sense as to why they would have me go into an explanation of archetypal energy with the hangman here, because it's about finding our own power through our past self-sacrifice or self-righteous or self-sabotaging behavior. A lot of us have been thrown into this contemplation period, going within and gathering these downloads and purging past energies of a sacrificial nature. So previously, this is actually, our true power is in our ability to connect to source. And so at this point within the story, we progress to realize that we must reciprocate and give back to source. And since ancient times, there have been many a sacrifice made in humble thanks to the higher power. When reading the story, we always want to consider the next step. And in doing so, our conceptions of progress send a message to the universe that we're ready to evolve. Considering that the story of the royal path is not the telling of the mundane, but we can be sure that each of its parts will always have and involve a direct, profound insight as to support our spiritual growth. So after reading part XI, which is the enchantress or strength, that's the number 8. I was talking about the 8A portal, the Lion's Gate portal. The Lion's Gate portal in Arcanum represents Leo energy. The strength card, infinite, masculine. Um, but anyway, this is considering that the story of the royal path is so after discovering the true source of strength, and we also ask what is next. So that's what we've been asking after COVID struck is, well, what's next? We have the upcoming election coming up, and now, there are things to be tossed about in the air. I won't speculate on politics here, but we've also been tapping into that energy of strength and we've been trying to question this evolution that is happening. So, in the downtime that we've experienced, we're beginning to understand that the story is one of balance between the parts and archetypes of self. One, here it will be revealed that the next step is to balance our strength with sacrifice. We're ready to give back to the source of power from which we receive our vitality. The martyr teaches us to understand the inevitability of sacrifice on the path, with death being the ultimate atonement. He teaches us to practice self-sacrifice or sacrifice, not self-sacrifice. Sorry. He teaches us to practice sacrifice regularly in order to best prepare for whatever sacrifices we will inevitably face along the path. We may call upon our inherent wisdom of this archetype to guide us through the process of sacrifice. The martyr shows us that there are many ways to easily offer sacrifice. We may quietly or aloud offer a prayer of thanks before any of the many experiential pleasures we partake in throughout the day. Our words, breath, body, thoughts, and loving presence all become an offering in that moment. We may choose to sacrifice negative thought programs or destructive habits in the name of expiation and purification. Arcanum Arcanum number 12 asks us to take a look at our lives and whatever must be done in the name of progression of the evolution of consciousness, both individual and collectively. The Hanged Man tells us to ask ourselves how far are we willing to go in the name of justice. Let's explore 2 of the different expressions that make up the number 12. As 6 plus 6, we see that we can arrive to the stage of sacrifice as a result of trials upon trials, as represented by arcane number or the 2 paths. Finding ourselves stuck in this chapter of the story, having to repent continuously in order to meet justice or balance, or we can arrive at the stage of sacrifice as the expression 5 plus 7, which represents spiritual devotion as a path to success. Here, one might ask how on earth it could be a success to be hanged. Yet, the hanging here is a metaphor for receiving illumination as the gift that comes with sacrificial devotion. He who loyally sacrifices that which is not in alignment with the Most High receives blessings. He gives up bad habits and instead is given health. He gives up anger and he is given peace. He gives up fear and he is given love. He gives up limited thinking and receives expansion of mind. The martyr teaches us that the degree to which we hesitate to sacrifice what no longer serves us reflects the degree to which we still must develop our self-confidence and our trust in the divine order of all things. When we make the sacrifice in the name of goodness, we must do so wholeheartedly and with great feeling. The Arcanum number 12 is a reminder that justice will always be served, whether or not we willingly place ourselves upon the altar of expiation. Atonement is inevitable. At one mint truly is the universal goal, being at one. All efforts made in bringing balance to our inner and outer world is never lost. These efforts and realizations which we serve, the one remain in the astral realm even once we pass away. The energy then finds its way into a new form of vehicle to continue on with the story and evolution. I'm just going to put that in there. The Hebrew letter lamed is associated with the martyr. as it is the number 12 letter of the alphabet and holds the number value of 30, which can be reduced to 3, just as 12 can be reduced to 3. The lamed is a summary, a symbol of which contains all the wisdom of arcane number 12, the martyr. There are 22 letters in the Hebrew alphabet, yet 2 of those letters have dual form, making 24. Lamed, being the 12th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, is considered the central letter or heart, as it falls right in the middle. Lamed is also the tallest letter and only letter rising above the baseline, highlighting the spiritual significance of the heart. The Hebrew word for heart is lev, which begins with a lamed. The pictorial symbol for lamed is a staff, which is a reference to guiding force. The staff shows the way to proper spiritual practice through the sacrificial devotion denoted in Arcanum number 12. The lamed is also made up of 2 previous letters, the vav and the kaf, or the nail joined to the crowned one. This illustrates the concept of the nail to the cross, or the merging of the humble and devoted one within the divine. So this is also a message coming through from our ascended master, Jesus Christ, to let us know, that the path of enlightenment, of surrender, is to surrender and sacrifice that which no longer serves us for the highest good anymore. It's taking that arcane knowledge that we've received from all of the different life lessons and what they were talking about through the emergence energy of emerging through the heart space. This last year, 2020, has been about matters of the heart, healing matters of the heart, going into, those root areas of healing within your family dynamics, your past dynamics, your soul dynamics, all of that integrated into one, your divine blueprint being made visible and aware to you guys, getting on a path of self loyalty in order to come into this divine alignment within yourself and the things that spirit has been asking us to surrender, from our own blueprints about this, to emerge as our higher selves. This energy of judgment. Woo, clearing out Uber prana, guys. Una prana. Uber. Una prana. Okay. That's prana clearing itself, guys. Sneezing, all of that. It's alignment. But that's what this has been about. This has been about clearing out the prana, the bad prana from our energy spaces and allowing these molecular changes to come in, these light codes to help us surrender into this emergence of this beautiful human blueprint that makes us who we are. But this hanged man energy, on a more spiritual note, this is about being, in a way, you don't have to be the martyr. You don't have to die for what you believe in. But in a way, it's kind of like everything that you do believe in revolves around the outcome that you have, um, that you create in your own divine plan, in your own divine blueprint. Um, it's about coming into union and sacrificing the things that no longer serve you and coming into union with this divine oneness within yourself and taking the lessons that have been integrated, whether they have been integrated multiple times or whether you're just beginning on a cycle, of energy clearing. This is to help you guys truly emerge. This energy coming in for you guys through this portal, the insights that you guys are given through divine clarity, through the messages that you guys receive, are very important at this time. And I think everything that I basically just went into was what I was going to pull from the tarot, the angelic influence of the angels. But I feel at this point in time, I've actually touched on that topic of conversation. So I'm gonna go ahead and move forward, and I'm gonna get you guys some final guidance to take you guys into from this portal of union energy and sacred union within the self. Um, I'm gonna get a message from Divine Feminine for you guys from the Oracle of the Dragon Fae by Lucy Cavendish. This is actually my sister's deck, and I'm hijacking it for this reading today. So shout out and lots of love to my Divine Mermaid sister who can't be here with me to help you guys channel or to help me channel these messages for you guys. So, anyways, um, I will allow her lovely deck to help us channel a message from the Divine Feminine today. I'm just going to pull one card for the Divine Feminine and one for the Divine Masculine. So we have Wu Wang for the Divine Feminine, which is dragon energy coming in here. We have the wild and pure heart. And we'll pull one for Divine Masculine. We have New Moon Fae, which is soul scrying. This is a lot of soul retrieval energy coming in underneath the energy. Overall, we have Gaia's Dragon, which is about divine union. And how beautiful is that? That I feel like the Divine Feminine right now is very pregnant with her. She's about to give birth to something major in this world. But that dragon energy is Divine Masculine, standing beside her, protecting her, hoarding over her. He's protecting her very fiercely at this point in time, because what the Divine Feminine is about to give birth to into this world is going to be truly amazing and sacred. And oh my gosh, this is just beautiful. Okay, so the first card we have, I'm just going to go tap into Divine Feminine energy. Divine Feminine's message for the collective is Wu Wang, and it's about the wild and pure heart. The number for this card is 36. So with that in numerology, can break down to actually number 9 or break down to the number 3. 36. 36, 36, 36. This is Gaia and her dragon. Oh. So working with Wu Wang, um, in times of old, they said that only those who were pure could connect with those like myself, that the virgin could connect with the unicorn, and that the child could see the meaning of God, that the Fae would truly see into your heart, and finding it corrupt would never appear to you. I'm here to tell you that your heart is pure and wild and innocent, and it is that you have forgotten how to see us. You've been told that in order to see us, you must be perfect, that in order to see us, you must be mad, unclean, broken, and if you say that you've seen us, you face being shunned. I'm here to say that we appear to those who have looked into their hearts and see beyond the woundings, because within you there's a wild and untrammeled heart space within, which is free of any taint. In that space, we can enter, and therefore we can and will be seen again. You are not born into this world wrong or sinful. There may be karmic markings, but you're no sinner, nor are you corrupt or unworthy. Foster that which is wild and pure and good within you, and we will begin to appear and come forth. You will feel us on the wind and in the water, see us in the fire, and hear our voices emanating from the heart of our mother, the earth. You're a child of the mother. Call her what you will, and at your core are one of the wild ones, and that is my message for you. Wu Wang is a dragon Fey lord who has been both dynastic ruler and human in form, and his energy has entered the Chinese system of philosophy and divination known as the I Ching. His mind is very natural and honest, and he has innately good nature and encourages us to be the same, and to know that we can be the same no matter how we have behaved in the past. Truth and innocence of nature can be reclaimed, and furthermore, these traits bring about good fortune, personally and for Gaia, Dana, and our mother. Know that you're innocent and cultivate that aspect of yourself, and know that your innocence and goodness lies within you no matter what actions you've taken in the past. This represents and presents the moment is a chance to reclaim that pure and wild heart within you. When you do that, you will be able to see, feel, and sense clearly the presence of magical beings, including the dragon fae and particularly the unicorn. Wu Wang will also help you eat organically, well, and healthfully, taking nothing into sorry. Taking nothing into your body without contemplating whether it will erode or grow that wild, pure heart and act accordingly. Dance, sing, play music, and make love. All of these acts are done with innocence. Wild joy are healing and a part of the sacred act of love. Stay pure and wild and innocent. Devote a part of your daily life to the development of the pure and wild part in you, and let something be beyond your control. Don't attempt to control and predict the outcome of all, and know that innocence also means that you also have known all and come from that place which is noble and humble. When we do so, our expectations and controlling behaviors depart, as does the drama. In their place comes insight and much communication with the magical web of life, including mermaids, unicorns, centaurs, and dragonfae, dryads, and other interworldly beings that may have yet be unseen by your eyes. But again, this is archetypal energy. That is a very beautiful energy. And like I said, as it is, it's archetypal energy that you can tap into at any time. You don't have to be from the dragon fae realm to channel that beautiful energy coming in from divine feminine. This is a message from the divine feminine and maybe from somebody that has a dragon spirit in their energy, but or dragon or fae or both. Either one. But that's what I'm saying, that's another thing that they were also channeling to me to tell you guys about being able to interface with other messages coming in from other worldly dimensions and knowing which ones serve for your highest good and which ones do not. That was a message coming through from the Dragon Fae Divine Feminine message for the collective. So absolutely makes sense. This is also they also wanted me to. I think the reason why they wanted me to use this deck was to show you guys that tapping into your own magical nature and your own imagination is also another key to to manifesting beautiful things in your life. It's not okay to live from a world of illusion, but it's okay to manifest from a world of magic. And that's another thing that divine feminine really did want to um, make known in this video is that the pure magic of who you are is sometimes sacrificing in the collective what other collective views about you are kind of stopping you. You know what I mean? I think in a way that that is a martyr like energy that spirit was pointing us to integrate and understand on our journey is that sometimes, uh, you know, martyr energy is actually just surrendering what other people may think about you, and or in order to be wild and one within yourself and create from that magical divine place within you. And I'm glad that this came out so that I could actually touch on that because it was actually in my thoughts before I started channeling this video. Just taking off the masks, surrendering to the divine, and surrendering to your own magic is sometimes one of the most beautiful acts of martyrdom and self love that you can embody from the hangman's perspective. And so it brings in this new moon, beautiful soul scrying energy that is coming in from the masculine side of perspectives. So it's okay for us to truly surrender to the divine because we know as the magician, we have all the tools and everything that we need on our divine blueprint journey. The universe is going to be absolutely loyal to us in every way, shape, or form. So even through those dark times, and transmuting those things and surrendering those things in order to emerge into this new state of being that we're experiencing and transforming through. It's really about those soul integrations and the soul alliance that you have with yourself and scrying for that within others. So, like, we're going to tap into this card. This tap is tapping into the energy number of number 7, which, if you add that together, it is the number 8, which was represented as infinite energy. Um, but breaking that down to one. It goes back to the energy number one. Beautiful. Okay, so the final message from Spirit here for the Divine Masculine, or from the Divine Masculine to the collective, is about the new moon Fae. This new moon Fae speaks about soul scrying. She says, I rule myths and dreams, which encapsulate truths about yourself in forms that you can work with. I rule creativity and the story, and I am the storyteller and that which enchants. I am imagination, instinctive wisdom, and archetypal energies, and forms which cross cultural boundaries. I love the moonlight. I know only too well that the light of the crystal one can mean madness or enlightenment. I am enchanted as the strange outsider, and as are you. And so I understand when I feel you are not at home in this world. Sometimes I know that you feel as if you're not a part of the mainstream and you can feel isolated. But please remember that under the moonlight, you cannot see the full spectrum of colors, but you can also see between the worlds and deep into the true essence of all. Do not feel ashamed of your strangeness and your shadows. They can be beautiful and mysterious if they are loved, embraced, and owned. But something is missing, and I have cast out a part of myself now that I'm wanting to return. Like you, I'm nearing a time of action where I must go in search of all of myself, but for this moment, I take solace in the reflections of this still and moonlight pool, and even in the stark lacework of bare trees, I find truth and hope. You have this quicksilver and primal energy, but I encourage you now to become practical and deal with the difficulties of separation and to dissolve your fears through action, strength, and acceptance. However, do not shut your own fears. Don't shut out your own fears and intuition, and what you resist can and repress only regroups in the shadows and draws strength from denial. So instead, bring your fears out into the open, shine the sunlight on them, and embrace all of who you are. Your accepted social mask can now be dropped. You may need to incorporate the power of heightened psychic ability, which can be hard to communicate and read accurately. Do not despair. You will learn to understand and interpret your own psychic and symbolic language if you practice, and I am now in the sacred pool with you. If you do not make a conscious effort, your unconscious will continue to do the work on your behalf anyway. You may be a psychic, nighttime being with fragile but powerful abilities, but you're also of the elements, and the dragon fae can teach you strength and give you wisdom in which to use it well. This lovely lost for the moment dragon fae maiden has no name, and she is yet to come home to her whole self, but she is working on becoming whole, and you are now. And your true nature is being integrated into your social self. She is pining. It is that which she is waiting for her dragon self to return, so she can be whole. But she is also at a stage of new beginnings and is obsessing over what she does not seem to have. This card is of a person who feels that a part of their true self is no longer with them, and it speaks of the yearning that we can experience. She is wistful, she has hope, and she will grow stronger over the coming moon cycles. She has powerful visions. This card indicates that the listener will be able to cleanse themselves and feel at home near beautiful bodies of water, and it is also the card of connecting more to moonlight and the subtle quicksilver light of the reflected sun. You may be feeling abandoned at this time or like a part of you is missing, but it can also indicate that you've been experiencing a false belief that others do not like or accept about you. In truth, when this card is revealed, it is that new moon Fae wishes to indicate that you do not like and accept yourself and that you may be choosing to hide from your own physical ability and wild self. Your spirit visions are shrouded by denial, withdrawal and depression, drinking, eating, sleeping to drown out your inner voice and abilities. Fearful superstitions, feeling that your abilities are not godlike or God given, guilt over psychic abilities and beliefs, dark night of the soul, expecting total clarity from visions, misunderstanding the nature of psychic work, longing and yearning but inactive, sensation of drowning, memory problems, soul amnesia, period pain, water retention, tendency to turn to alcohol, food, or other substances to drown out psychic messages. Okay, so the masculine, it's kind of funny that I say that this card was from the feminine and this card is in fact a masculine energy coming through with the message for divine feminine. And this card is actually a message from the divine feminine to the masculine collective. So a lot of people, okay, I don't care if you're masculine or feminine, this integrate is telling you from the divine masculine and the divine feminine within you that it's time for you guys to stop running from your abilities and the fact that you are clairsentient beings. You are claircognizant, you are clairsentient, you are clairvoyant, you are clairaudient. I'm just gonna just numb it down and say that you guys are clairsentient beings, and the more that you guys start to actually understand this and awaken this ability within yourself, knowing that it's already precognitively there, you have your own source of discernment and intuition. And the more that we deny it, the more that we deny our own emergence and our own human nature. The illusion is the illusion is that there is an oppressing energy that does not want us to believe in the power of who we are, but there is another energy that supports us in a divine way that is pushing us towards the emergence of our original blueprints and being loyalty to our original blueprints and surrendering that which no longer serves us anyways. So no matter how you guys want to look at it, if you want to look at it from a quantum standpoint, it's removing that extraterrestrial DNA that no longer belongs. It never belonged in the first place. You guys are literally through your awakenings changing your molecular structure. So the message of soul scrying is finding out who you really are and releasing the guilt over having psychic abilities. And a lot of you guys have been having a really hard time surrendering this out of fear and truly being and becoming who you were really meant to be out of fear for what other people are going to think about you. Or I have also gone through this process myself of having to surrender this turmoil in my human design, in my human blueprint, because it is pre-existent in every single one of our blueprints at this point in time. And this is one of the things that it's being transmuted and worked on at this particular time. And I say that when we hit 220, 2 hours and 26 minutes. Yeah. 226. Yeah, we did have those balances, those energies coming in. But anyway, so this really isn't about us feeling abandoned anymore. This is a collective energy that's it's transforming out of the old paradigm. This is what we're surrendering. We're surrendering our feelings of abandonment. We're surrendering our ego. We're surrendering the lies. We're surrendering the illusions. We're surrendering what no longer serves, guys. So this is some very powerful energy coming in. Um, Soul scrying and wild and pure heart. That was a very synchronized message from divine masculine and feminine, source energy, source creation, source creator. Um, the final message was in this overall energy, the underneath card in the deck, which is Gaia's Dragon. Gaia's Dragon, number 37. Cycle of completion with the number 10 here. Wow. Can't believe I've been at this for 2 hours. Kind of figured it was going to happen. Anyway, Gaia and her dragon. Hear our voices, male and female, coiling through and around each other as we speak as one. We are Gaia and her dragon, and we are one being through separate, just as your divine union will be. Think of the beauty of love making with a partner, the harmony and balance, the yielding and the chase, and that which we represent through our perfect union is divine marriage, the blissful soulmate experience that so many beings long for. True marriage does not mean becoming the same the being. Look at how apparently different we are, and yet within that is the protection and care, fertility and new growth, heaven and earth joined together. Is the sky the same as the earth and you walk on? No. But at their harmonious relationship in exactly the same way, your divine union will not be one who is the same as you, but you will, when brought into divine marriage and perfect balance, provide each other with a home, unity, and love. and you will bring out what is best within and without the other. The dragon loves and protects Gaia. Gaia adores her dragon, who is the heavens, and will bring forth the new life as a result of this union. You're loved and have on this planet, within the celestial realm, a perfect and divine partner. Beyond history, past lives, and future lives, this is divine union. It is and will be yours. Gaia is the reproductive goddess of energy and of this planet, and her dragon is the cosmos, the atmospheric and celestial energy within which she interacts and dwells. She needs the other to be, not to survive, but to be. She and he are in divine accord and union, and represent the marriage of heaven and earth. She is the cycles of the planet, and he is the seasons of the universe. Together they create a new world and a new life, and bring about hope. Their love for each other is steady, constant, and harmonious, with different energies blending beautifully together. Theirs is a peaceful and passionate love, and to each other they are eternally true. Bringing into balance matters of the earth and matters of the heavens, balance of the celestial and terrestrial union between man and woman, beloved child, pregnancy, fertility, creations coming into fruition, meeting true lovers who are faithful, caring, and protective, understand your own sexual nature, and being free to be who you are, the balance of masculine and feminine in your world. Bring to your life an innate gift of relationships. Ask Gaia and her dragon for their assistance in allowing each person in a relationship to be fully themselves and yet be in perfect relationships with each other. Know that your relationships can also be true, steadfast, and sacred, and that the integrity in relationships is valued, prized, and to be kept sacred. Gaia will assist you in bringing forth ideas, even children, and can be considered wonderful goddesses or gods to call on for fertility. The wonderful earth goddess and her beautiful dragon will assist in calling forth male beings who are honorable, trustworthy, strong, and passionate. He is able to care for and protect without ever attempting to mute her power or creativity. Such partnerships can exist for you too if you allow them into your life with Gaia and her dragon's help. This is a message for you guys that are inquiring about love and divine and sacred union and wondering if it is coming in for you. If you guys have nurtured the tenderness within yourselves to integrate all of these things through your soul patterns, through your soul lessons, and through your own emergence, divine union is absolutely coming for you guys in through this next portal. And with that being said, I'm going to pull one more power for overall energy for everyone from the sacred power oracles, and then I'm going to close out this energy session for today. In the hopes that this intentional message reaches you guys with love and all of the light codes that have been sent to me and have been channeled through me today. I am going to send gratitude, love, peace, and light out with you guys as you guys embark on this portal, as you guys step through this portal energy. Whoa. There's a lot. This energy is so potent. Sorry, I'm going to shuffle and it just threw half of my deck out. Shot out cards everywhere. Oh. All right, final message, spirits, for today's activation and guidance through this 1111 portal. Taking the masks off, allowing ourselves to love and be loved and be transparent, to heal this blueprint. Haha. And you just cannot make it up. Source. Connecting to source and being intimate with source. That is so beautiful. So beautiful. So the message that we have coming in with source is the number. Let me see, what number is this? Self-love, soul journey, sound, source. Okay, surrender fear with. Okay, so this is what source. This is the message of source, the overall energy, the final message. Surrender fear with the power of prayer. Miracles can happen now. As a source of comfort and hope, prayer thoughts strengthen your faith in life and divine consciousness. Life isn't always about happiness and joy. Experiencing sadness and sorrow is a part of life. Turning to prayer during times of trouble and darkness opens a pathway for the divine will to act on your behalf. The power of prayer can be accessed by anyone, anywhere, at any time. When positive energy exists within and around us, it can help us balance any physical or mental condition when divine source speaks. To us through prayer, we truly surrender our fear and open our heart to pure love. People tend to turn to prayer only in times of trouble, but in fact, they should offer prayer even in good times to show gratitude and thanks for the blessings that they have received. A continued flow of divine surrender opens us up to new possibilities while increasing our strength on a spiritual level. Source says to have faith. The ascended masters and heavenly realms will respond in divine deliverance if you surrender your heart to receive. By opening the work of miracles, you allow universal synchronicities to bless you in abundance. Prayer helps your mind and body become one. Divine communication is strong right now. Messages from loved ones, angels, ascended masters, and divine source are brought to you now. Pay attention to your thoughts, feelings, and impressions you receive during and after prayer. Invoke your spiritual power and blessings from heavenly hosts and deities by surrendering to faith with an open hearted routine prayer. The follow of prayer is strengthened by your spiritual state. Mantras open doors for divine communication. Using a prayer or dharma wheel brings perfection, purification, and value to your heart's requests. Right now, pray for the miracle you need, and you are being divinely assisted. The prayer for this card, or the affirmation for this card, is from the light of God that I am. I clear and open the way for divine miracles. I surrender my heart 100% pure light consciousness. I embrace divine will through love and faith. It is only through Source, the I am, the one, divine creator. It is only through Source that we receive truth, enlightenment, and freedom of suppression from non truth. It is only through Source, it is only through that God source energy within ourselves and tapping into Source to understand that the balance that is needed also requires a form of release. And it also requires a level of faith that can spark from the tiniest of mustard seeds to move mountains. I think through time and space, our evolution has revisited this energy and it's been resurrected multiple times during our evolution. That source energy is the way and the truth and the light. And as long as we are following source and opening our pathways and allowing this divine source energy to penetrate through all illusions, through all programming, through all of the surrender, the loyalty of God, and the love of God will emerge from within you. That is a very intimate relationship that is going to be more important than any other intimate relationship that you can have with another intelligent being. And I think that is the point that Spirit really, really wanted to make today in coming into union with yourself. Spirit wants you to open up your heart and connect to that divine oneness of Source and allow that passageway to open up within yourself and allow all of this integration to flow beautifully and wildly through you. Because when you start to work from that place of source integration, surrender, faith, and trust. The things that you guys are going to emerge into will be some of the most beautiful things that you will have the pleasure and the blessed energy and gift to be able to receive in this lifetime or any other lifetime for that matter. The intimacy of connecting yourself to source is the surrender of your own emergence. So that's a very beautiful energy when you can surrender this energy within yourself, integrate this energy within yourself. You have now experienced your first round of sacred union within the self. It's a very intimate and beautiful experience. So, the final message overall in divine consciousness from the message of source and intimacy, respecting your personal space and nurture relationships. The intimacy that you experience is often associated with being sexual, but in fact, emotional intimacy, which has nothing to do with sexuality, is the foundation of any great relationship. If one is unable to open and connect to their partner on an emotional level, it becomes difficult to maintain the equilibrium of a balanced relationship. To maintain healthy relationships, one must learn how to be emotionally intimate. Challenges that lead to infidelity tend to begin on an emotional level when partners neglect to address each other's needs. Share your feelings and thoughts on important issues on a deep level to maintain physical and emotional connections. In the past, there's been fear around intimacy. Spirit is saying that they're here to clear this out because fearing to share personal thoughts, feelings, and body images have created a mindset around the acceptance of how intimacy should be and how it should be approached in the future. This is the confusion that has allowed us to use and abuse power in relationships of any kind, resulting in communication, bad breakups, and abusive relationships. If you're in a relationship right now, you're being asked to look at how you share information. Is there a mutual respect? Are you both being heard? Are you giving or just taking? If you're single, now is the time to acknowledge and address any issues surrounding the loss of power or allowing you to open your heart and others to others in the future. Take the time to nourish and nurture your body. Wear clothing that appeals to you physically. Create and make memorable moments with loved ones as open lines of communication to support difficult topics of conversation. Be open to new experiences and honor your body with love and respect. So, Spirit is saying that in this energy, when we went into the explanation from Rebecca's book of the Royal Path, and when it's talking about the magician archetype and how the magician has to become very intimate with all of the elements around him in order to truly utilize them for what they are, to come into a full state of consciousness with his own alchemy between energy and all the tools that are necessary for him to manifest his desires into the world and to make whole his spiritual presence as the magician and taking the lessons of spiritual integration out into the world as a physical manifestation from all of the tools that he's been given from earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. This is about developing that unconditional, relationship between yourself and source, and understanding that all of the gifts, that have been given to you to help you through this blueprint, are being able to surrender your fear. Okay, that is the biggest lesson of this sacred geometry energy of the Fibonacci suite. The Fibonacci energy and the golden blueprint of the human design is being able to surrender ourselves from fear and allowing that divine life source intimate relationship that we have with God or source or however you name Yahweh or the one with many names, the I am presence. this is integrating this personal, intimate relationship between yourself and God or Source, um, and allowing that to be transparent in all that you do. The sacrifice in it is sacrificing what you think or should care that others think or say or do. It's really a matter of you being transparent, you being in alignment with Source, and you having your own intimate relationship to your own soul and its transgressions and its lessons of transformation. So it's time to be loyal to yourself on this journey and allow the truth to resonate with you for once. Emerge from the darkness. Surrender all that does not work for you anymore. This has been a message from Tribal Awakening Ministries. My name is Brandy. It's been a pleasure today. I want to wish you guys a love and light, blessed 1111 portal. May you guys walk through this portal with perfect love and perfect trust that you guys are aligning with your higher purpose and your true self. And may you guys have a beautiful emergence from your cocoon out into the world. I say this with all love and light. For those of you that this resonated with, please, by all means, share this out to all platforms. If you resonated with this video, leave me a like, a comment. Please allow me to have communication with you guys. Allow me to share this experience with you guys. Your comments are welcome. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you see fit or deem it necessary. I wanted to give a shout out to Rebecca Magic for this amazing book. It is called The Royal Path. You can find this book on her Facebook page. Let me see. I was trying to see if, let me see. You can contact Rebecca Magic for personal readings on her through her email account. It's Rebecca Magic at channeling.org or at channeling or Rebecca Magic channeling at gmail.com. If you guys would actually like to book Mrs. Magic for personal sessions, this woman is amazing. You can also follow her YouTube channel. She does videos for activations, awakening activations, almost daily, especially through major energy shifts. Give her a follow on Facebook, guys. I want to give a shout out to my friend Aiden Kelly for his beautiful trap music that he infuses his spirituality and awakening and his connection to Goddess and his trials and tribulations as a light worker. He puts that in his music. So I just wanted to share some of these beautiful souls with you guys today. Beautiful Rebecca, beautiful Aiden. You guys can find Aiden's music on Spotify, iTunes. And I also wanted to give my sister, Jessica Brown, a mention. She has the Awakening Your Goddess page on Facebook. She's going very, very strong into her following. I wanted to send you guys her way in case you guys, need quick readings or energy check-ins. If you guys need to do some root or spell work, this woman is absolutely amazing. She's got some handcrafted jewelry that she puts very powerful, loving and healing intent into making. She also makes spirit shadow boxes of many different variations and varieties, candles. Guys, she's got her website up now, which is awakeningyourgoddess.org. You guys go give my girl a shout out and a follow because this woman is absolutely amazing. And as a matter of fact, just 2 days ago, she did a energy collective check-in. So you guys go follow my friend Jessica on Facebook at Awakening Your Goddess. You guys won't regret it. She is very, very skilled and transparent when it comes to shadow work. And she is, besides myself, one of the beautiful goddess energies that I would actually suggest you to if you can't reach me. She's very, very straightforward, very informational when it comes to shadow and shadow work. So give Jessica a shout out and a follow. And again, I just wanted to give some gratitude, some love and light to my fellow light workers who are actually on a daily on their grind, putting out this information, putting out their tools and their creation works for you guys to help you guys transmute through whatever it is that you guys are experiencing. Sometimes to have on our altar just a few tools to help us guide us, to help guide us and get us through these focal points of energy that we're trying to clear out. Candles are really amazing tools for doing that. And like I said, these these creators, these creator energies in my soul tribe deserve some recognition today. So go and follow my friends on Facebook. They would love to receive you. And just not only that, like I said, if you guys truly want to understand tarot and the archetypal energies, working with those elemental universal energies coming through our lives every day, if you want to understand more about tarot, it's very, very important that you guys go in and understand the archetypal energies that flow from one character to another. This book right here will definitely give you some insight. And I can tell you right now, um, it's definitely worth the $25 that you will spend to receive this beautiful, beautiful arcane royal path knowledge. So yeah, give my friend Jessica Magic a follow, please, if for the love of source. If you really want to get on the right path and understanding archetypal energies, this book is a definitely activating. With every word that you read, it will activate these archetypal energies within you to help you understand what's already awakened within you. As a matter of fact, I'll just put it that way. But anyway, give my friend Jessica Brown a shout out. Go follow Awakening Your Goddess on Facebook. This woman is amazing. If you guys need tools to help you work some magic through this alchemy transformation, Jessica's got the tools. My friend Tony Ray, um, Mystical Pathways. He has a group on Facebook. You crystals galore, guys, crystals galore. So if you want arcane knowledge, crystals galore, shadow work, spell work, if you need help integrating any of these things or any of these people, as a matter of fact, Aiden, Jessica, or Rebecca, any of these people, if you actually reached out to them on a spiritual level, these people I trust to give you actual guidance to your inner self and what it is that you're channeling. And if you're having a hard time channeling and deciphering one energy to another, and if you need help clearing out those energetic low vibrational energies that you're channeling, these guys can definitely help you. Jessica and Rebecca, especially, can help you guys help discern. They can help you discern from your own inner voice to your divine voice that's coming through, trying to help you. Um, like I said, I would never do a video and not, um, this isn't just about myself. I'm not just trying to gain, you know, clients and energy exchanges from you guys. Not at all. I'm just saying, like, if you guys listen to my videos, if you guys get any resonance or truth or help from them at all, please share them out. And while I do this, I am in the service of also sharing the creations that I witness my other light workers and soul sisters and soul brothers creations. It's part of my mission to help share other beings who are putting themselves in the modality and the mentality of helping others, and they're doing it from a very selfless space. So I want to share those out as well. Please give Rebecca a follow. Check out my sister Jessica Brown's Awakening Your Goddess page. And if you guys want to listen to, if you guys like rap music and trap music, but you want a more spiritual vibe to it, like not very many artists out there putting spirituality into their music, but Aiden is one of them, and that is why I wanted to share him today. Why I opened up with some of his music, and I actually sometimes meditate to it, you know why. But anyway, today for me it was about sharing is caring. I wanted to get these messages out to you guys. I wanted to delve really deep into the heart of the matter of what these 11 portal energies were bringing through for you guys. The energy for the last several months has been extremely intense. I've been in hanged man mode, gathering introspection about where I wanted to take the course of my channel. And now here we are. This is where the course of my channel is taking place. So no better way to start than today. So with all further ramblings on, gotta cut this short, guys. We've already been here for 2 hours and 55 minutes. So that being said, love and light to you all. I don't know how often I'm going to be doing these messages, but I will come at you guys from YouTube from now on, more than likely bi-weekly. I have to work that into my Muggle work schedule. So the Muggle work schedule versus the spiritual person schedule is going to be integrated at this particular time. So we're just going to roll with it until we have some consistency and a contingency plan to go on. So anyways, with love and respect, this has been a message from brandinimojo at Tribal Awakening Ministries, and I want to wish you guys a very blessed day. And oh, wow. So I can't see in stream. Yes. Sorry, guys. Sorry. It's whack, 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 whack. But peace, love, and chicken grease.